Hey everybody, welcome back to the before the long haul podcast, but I was about to say before the long haul. This is the pre-show banter and or conversation that goes for 5 minutes. You want to skip the 5 minutes and hit the main topic, then skip the five. But till then, what's going on, Brandon?
Nothing much. I gotta before you get into your story. Uh, this is something for maybe next one, or see how you think. I was talking to a friend recently. He listens to this every now and then. He was like, maybe just start off with the conversation instead of doing the whole little pre-show intro and all that. I'm like, I'll think about that. I'll see what Blaine thinks.
Maybe we
Because I was
can.
listening to
Okay,
Red and Link, and they don't typically do the hey, this is us talking before the show and all that.
yeah, and then you're right. Then they get to it and they're like, "Hey, this is your biscuits," and they do their thing. I think I could be with that. Either we just say skip the five to get the main topic.
Yeah.
I think maybe we have to do a hybrid of that. I think that we may say maybe we shorten it up like, "Hey, welcome to the before long haul pre-show. Skip the 5 minutes to get to the main topic." Like, and it's
Yep.
just real lean because
Yeah, but
otherwise you want people to they're so big they have a a following that's going to listen to whatever they say
because
versus
they go for them, not for they go for them a lot of
exactly.
times. Because that's
So
what I do with some creators. I'm like, I don't care if you're talking about Fallout, Halo, this thing I really don't care about. Like you're streaming a game I don't play. I go to the stream for that for you because I became a fan of you.
yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Okay,
so
yeah, I
tell
feel
me
that.
about your Florida trip.
It was pretty good. Nothing too
Any crazy
crazy
stories I told you to get?
that you told me to get.
I
Oh,
told you
you
to
told me to think about stories. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, when fishing was good, the allergy on that one day was kind of nuts. We kind of talked about it a little bit beforehand. One crazy story would definitely be that we were fishing off of a wreck that's about a mile or two off of the coast of Florida, and so you're not that far away from the beach. You're just in the ocean, and it's called Miss Louise out in front of Destin. It's an old sunken barge from like 1997, I believe.
Mhm.
Fun information there. And, so we're fishing there, we're trying to hook up on some big fish and find some big fish, right? Excuse me. And, so I end up sitting there and something big gets on there for a second. I was, "Oh, I got one." And it was like it didn't grab it like real crazy, like aggressively or anything like that. And I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh, it's big. Oh, wait a minute. Are you?" My dad was like, "Are you hung?" And I was like, "Ah, I might be. Hold on, maybe." And I'm feeling it. I'm sitting there feeling it. I'm like, "No, this is a fish. This is a huge fish." And so sitting there reeling it, and it's like not the normal type of fish you catch. If you fish you or go fishing, you know how fish typically like I feel on a rod. There's typically like head jerk movement of the fish, and it makes like jerk, 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 jerk on the
Can I
feeling of the
guess?
pull.
Can I guess something? This
What?
is either a gator or it was a shark, wasn't it?
It can't be a gator because I'm like couple. It's like 60 feet down in the water, and I'm 2 miles off the shore. No, it's not a gator. We never see gators out there on the beach. Apparently, some areas you sometimes see them, but not there. But so reeling this in. Long story short, not stretch too far. Is that I'm sitting there reeling in. I'm fighting this fish for about 20 minutes or I'm like I will at least want to get to see how big this fish is before if we're gonna lose it. I hope we can at least get it up close to the surface to see it. And I was trying to reel this fish, and then we tried to pull it off the wreck. We're not using large enough tackle to really use muscle and control the fish because he's way too large. And so the fish is in control essentially, and I'm just hoping with luck that I'm not going to get broken off and he's going to swim around some structure that's down there in the water. I'm fighting it for like 20, 25 minutes, and it's pretty much just like sitting there slowly coming towards me, and I can reel it. And then I think he gets farther from the structure, the wreck, and then he just starts swimming and starts taking line, like zzz, and just taking the line. And it was never like really fast or aggressive or anything, but yeah, lost him. Did not get to see him. Fought for 20 to 25 minutes with this fish
Jesus.
and didn't get to freaking even see him.
You know,
It was huge, dude.
you telling the story made me realize. I think this is the first time you've been to a fishing trip where you didn't send the group chat a photo of any fish you caught.
Oh, I guess that's a good point. I didn't catch it. If I caught that monster motherfucker, I would have sent a picture.
Because
But
whenever we
I
go
didn't catch.
hunting or fishing, you usually send a photo of what you or your dad caught.
Yeah, because typically we get something real big. This wasn't a very good week for fishing for everyone actually in the area on average. So, well, there you go. We've reached 6 minutes.
Yep. Anyway, you guys, welcome back to For the Long Haul podcast. Like always, it's me, Brandon, alongside.
Blaine.
Okay, and today we're going to talk about something that I honestly just really started paying more attention to this past month or two, and that's credit card points. Because
Okay.
I think you pay attention to this more than I do,
Yeah, I
typically.
love cashback
And
is really my area, but the same thing. Rewards for credit cards.
and I just started going down like this little bit of a rabbit hole of best way to optimize my points and all that.
Okay. Well then let's keep going with where you got here. A couple months ago you get some interest. What happens? How we get here?
Well, it honestly probably was like this month, I think, and I was just like, because like recently I've been checking more. Well, ever since I got my Amazon card, and uh, and recently with my Chase Freedom card, I've been checking the points out a little bit more. Well, this year
Mhm.
in general, I became a little more conscious about the points because I remember I remember I was like, wait, let me buy the tickets with one of my credit cards instead of my debit
Uh,
card because I had the cash on my debit card. But I was like, let me use my credit card so that way I can get points for it.
yeah.
And so I think I used one of my credit cards to get the points for and buy the tickets. I went to go watch the Nation League's final and all that.
Okay.
Use that, and then I was like, I checked back later because that was over about $1,000 I spent.
Mhm.
I want to go check that out. I was like, okay, I got a decent amount. Didn't really pay attention to that much. Then I think it was a random TikTok that I saw that made me start thinking about this more. Then made me go down a little bit of rabbit hole of how to kind of maximize my points and what cards to really use for points and all that.
Yeah.
Because depending on because I didn't know this, I don't have one of those credit cards, but apparently, uh, depending on which card you have, with Chase, like I think Chase Sapphire before versus like the Chase Freedom,
Yeah.
can like you have a little more options of how to spend your points and all that.
Okay.
Or you may get a little bit on one of those cards, you may get a little more cash
Categories
back.
or percentage of cashback, yeah.
Because like because like if it's or like how the best way to use your points and all that. Because like you don't have to
Yeah.
just get them just to come one that the cashing it to your into your card. You can use it on like gift cards and all that. And there was like one that used an example. Is like if you see here, this is you're exchanging 80 points to get uh
Per dollar or something. Your
you're
conversion rate.
exchanging 80 points to get a $10 gift card. Let's just say that. And
Yeah.
it's typically 100 points, like 1 point equals $1. Or
Okay.
hold on. 10 points equals $1. Let's say that.
Okay.
10 points
Okay.
equals $1. And this was like spend 80 points, get $10 gift card for GameStop. Let's just say.
Yes.
This
Okay.
isn't exactly the example he gave, but like you're getting the point. You're getting a little bit extra more for your points. Because if you just did cash back, 10 points would be $10. So you had to spend 100 points to get $10. Well, this one,
Yes.
you're getting it at a discount.
Well, to summarize what you're saying essentially is that
Because that was a really bad example, but you get what I'm saying.
yeah, I understand what you're saying. That based on the card that you have, they allow you to redeem your points and or cashback dollars, which cashback dollars is where I sit. I don't use points or miles. I don't travel enough for miles, and I don't like the points as much. Those are really good for specific areas versus a generalized purpose versus with the cashback. But as to generalize what you're saying, the points based on how you redeem them, you get a more of a value per point based on how you use it. Some of them have partnerships with other brands that says, okay, we want people to buy Home Depot gift cards instead of it being whatever 10 points a dollar. And see, like I say, I don't use points or 80 points a dollar, like you're saying, but I want the math to be easy. 100 points a dollar is what we're going to say here. Instead of it being 100 points for $1, um, you know, they get like let's say we're saying a $1 gift card here to keep all the math down. 100 points to get a $1 Home Depot gift card. We'll let you get it for 80 points for per dollar for your Home Depot gift card. And so they'll allow you to utilize those points at a higher conversion rate at point per dollar based on those different categories and how you use them.
Now, obviously, the best way to find any of this out, really, of what you can do, obviously, of course, whenever we're doing this chase, just is working on the website.
Hmm. Yeah,
So I
that's a good
can
one.
look up some of the stuff like this. I didn't know Chase was down or was working on the website to just now.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I had an issue. I was trying to pay my credit card bill, but I refreshed and it worked earlier. But essentially, yeah, and it's based on which card that you're with as well, is how those points and or dollars are going to be converted. They all have their own different benefits. One way to look, like Brandon was saying, if you have a card, if you already have a credit card, you don't care too much about points or cash back, and you want to know more about it, you go to the website or you go to their app and you go to like the benefits section or
Honestly,
cash back
I
section.
I think going to the website's better because you just like it's easy to navigate. I mean, yeah, the app's
Yeah.
easy typically. Unless you're one
Well, for
bank
me,
guy, not Chase, my other bank. Because I swear,
yeah.
the website UI is garbage.
Yeah. Um, One thing that I'll do, like, it's probably easier to go to the website yourself with something else, maybe than a phone. But obviously, you can do it with phone. It's not a problem. I do it too. But I will say when I like use Chase and I go to the benefit section, I go to look at the cashback section because every now and again I'm like, I think this card does this, even though I've had the cards for years, and I'm just like, this one's for the restaurants, right? And every now and again you like confuse yourself because both cards are blue. But because like for me, American Express and Visa, because I have the Visa Sapphire Preferred card, and I'm pretty sure that's the one I've got there. And then I don't think it might be Freedom Unlimited. I gotta look at it. I have the one without an annual fee. I don't know if either one of those. One obviously doesn't because I have the one. And
Okay, that makes more sense. That you have the
but
one that.
go to the website. But there's another thing I wanted to mention too because you were talking about how to see what
Wait,
benefits there is. Go to
can you?
nerdwallet.com.
Uh, let's see. The Sapphire. No, you don't have the Sapphire Preferred because that one
Annual
is a
fee.
$95
See,
annual
there you go.
fee.
Yeah, then
So
I have
you
freedom.
probably have the Freedom.
Chase Freedom. Yeah, there we go. They almost look identical. They're very close. But
Honestly,
so I
like
have the Freedom.
at some point, because if you look at some of those credit cards, like the ones that have a fees, if you use them right, you can the you don't really pay the fee.
The ones that I've considered having that have a fee, I don't like credit cards with a fee, but the ones that do have a fee, if it really fits your lifestyle, it's absolutely worth it. Like if you travel a lot, Amex has some very good offerings like the platinums and the
Oh no,
gold
that's what my dad does.
that
That's what my
have
dad does.
incredible deals. And if you were really going to use those benefits, the benefits far outweigh the cost of that card. And that's something you have to determine for yourself. I will say for those of you that are building their credit, or this is really just for people that are building their credit, or you have one credit card, want to get another one. The first credit cards that you get at the beginning of your credit journey need to be ones without annual fees because you need to keep those for like the rest of your life.
Hmm.
And it's really important for your credit score and your credit history, which is that makes your score part of the factor that does it. Those accounts, you basically you're never going to want to close those for the rest of your life, and so you don't want to pay a fee of $100 per year for the next 60 years.
Oh no,
And that
yeah,
would,
that's true. But I just remembered something that the guy was talking about. That I watched his video. I can't remember his name off the top of my
uh
head. He's a big guy. He's like a big guy on TikTok finance and all that. And I know he
okay,
has a YouTube channel too. But like he talked about how like I think basically you spend 100 points on like on one of the Amazon on the Chase cards.
uh huh,
You get you get like a $9 gift card to Amazon. But he also said that's not a good option because you have the Chase. He said, "Well, I'll talk about this why later." And I think he gave the example of the Prime, the Amazon Prime that Chase offers.
yeah,
Like that card is basically a 1-to-1, so you're not getting screwed over and getting 80% of what you could be getting. You're getting 100% of what you
yes,
could be getting.
hmm.
So like stuff like that, you gotta like see which cards will be better for which situations.
And this is why that I like predominantly just cashback cards, and that's all I have is just cashback cards for now, because it's really easy to go through and look. But there is some convert. You don't have to do the math. Like it says you have $400 done. That's what you got. It's not $399. It's not $450. It's there's a flat. You got this amount. Now there is in the same sense that you can actually redeem it for some gift cards and things through their like app or their service to where I can see like, oh, I can spend, $50 on a gift card, but they're gonna give me 60. Like they'll
Yeah.
give me some bonus here and there. But I typically, the best part about, if you want to keep cashback simple or rewards on your credit card simple, is get a cashback card. But generally speaking, it's much simpler and there's not the complex of the points and how to use them and get the proper point to dollar ratio or a 1-to-1 ratio and have to do math on what your percent cash back is for that. Because instead of being like, well, you get 2 points per dollar on this or 3 points per dollar on this, I know I get 3% cash back, 2% cash back. So it's a dollar and I get 2% of that. And versus being like, oh, the extra step of I get 3% points on this purchase versus 2 points per dollar on this purchase. And then I have to redeem my points. Is this points to redemption here $1 per dollar? Is it under over? There's a lot of extra steps
Well, see,
in the middle of that.
if you go to Chase's websites, it makes it pretty easy to see because they kind of tell you like how much they kind of tell you how much your points equal. So then you kind of do the math a little bit easy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you go on the website, like it kind of tells you and gives you more information to make that easier. Because I've been mostly checking it on the websites and all that.
Yeah. What and the other thing I think, especially when it comes down to it, like you don't have a credit card, you need to get one because it's free money as long as you use it properly and you don't spend extra money, which unfortunately is what most people do when they get a credit card. It increases their spending, and which I'm probably in the same boat currently. But I'm a natural saver, though. Just my habit keeps me from spending too much normally. But the point I'm getting to here is that the best part about just the cashback credit card with no annual fee, you use it on all of your purchases. If you have more than one, you use those on the right categories. You get the bonus cashback because there's always categories within your credit card. Like there's dining, there's travel and booking, like flights, hotels, and things of that nature. Car rentals, that kind of falls in the travel category. You've got gas, you've got groceries. Those are some really popular categories there that you will have. And like the Amazon card is Amazon purchases. That's their category because it's an Amazon card. But using the cash back that you get from that card, if you just using it for a bill credit is the best part about it. And technically is the best way to save money because you use the card without spending any extra money while earning cash back and using it as redemption towards your bill that your statement you have to pay every month. So really, you get a discount. You get a discount on all your purchases if you use it in that way, and you don't treat the cash back as bonus money to spend on other items.
Now, obviously, like you're only getting that much back on the basically beginner entry cards. You're gonna get more as the whenever you start paying getting the
Yeah.
cards that have the fees and all that.
hmm Yeah, and I had
Uh,
Discover was really cool when first got a Discover card because they actually sent me a thing that says, "Hey, you heading off to college? You're gonna need a credit card." And it says you're pre-approved for a credit card, and which was his first starter credit card. It was like a $300 balance, but I didn't have to do a secure card because they sent me that. I kept
yeah.
it for several months before I opened it. Then I was like, then I was really getting into like credit and saving for long term and building up things for myself over time and building wealth. So I looked into all that stuff and how important credit was. And so I was like, I need to go find this. I know I kept this. I hope it's not expired yet. And it wasn't, even though I had it for several months and I went through and I got it. And that was the best decision for my credit that I made starting that point was starting the journey.
Now, like now another thing that uh you can do is you can I think if I remember correctly, because I'm not in a situation to do this, but I know on some of the cards they can let you combine the total points to use them for miles, hotels, and all that stuff.
I don't know anything about that. Two
If
different
I
cards with the same merchant combine the
yeah,
point?
like so, like say, like I think
Oh,
I start thinking like you have a couple of Amex, they have all points. I believe you can kind of combine the points
I
to use them for
don't
like a flight or hotel and all that, etc., etc.
I don't know anything about that actually at all, and I've never actually heard that. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I've never been in that train.
But I think but I think the best way to utilize that is using their portal to the airline and all that,
Oh,
or
you
using
have to
their
do it
portal.
that way. Normally, to get that
I think
percent
those are.
back.
I could be wrong on this. Now, this part I could be talking out my ass, but if I remember correctly, I think there's a way to you don't have to do it if you don't go through the portal. But I think it's the better option is if you go through the portal.
But the ones that I have that I can go through and read, and it says booking travel through chase.com. You have to go through Chase, through the rewards portal and click it, and it will take you to then browse, and you have to book it through there to get the, cash back. I do believe I've seen another thing, and I think it's on one of my cards that is the cashback booked on travel, but it's only booked directly through the airlines and not third-party sites that find you deals. I think that was one that I've read when I was getting ready to book a flight when I went down, to Florida. That's why you gotta go through and read. Not well, most common for me to see is that with the rewards and the flights, you book through the portal provided to you from your card, your cashback section. You like click it, book travel, and then boom, it takes you through. And then through there, you book it, and it tracks that and gives you the extra rewards through that way.
Also, I think on some of the higher level chase cards, I think like they have rotating offers and all that. So maybe check that every couple of months, see where like
Yeah.
you can get your cashback mills from and all that.
Yeah, I have an American Express Blue Cash preferred card. I have what was the one that we just said earlier? The one I have? Of course, it escapes me now. My
The Chase
wallet's in there.
Freedom.
Yeah, I have the Chase Freedom. It's a Visa card. Chase Freedom, and then I have a Discover. It used to be a Chrome It card. I think it's just a Discover Chrome card now. Those are different cards. Um, and so the one that has rotating categories, which is popular with credit cards, I have fixed categories on both the two of my cards. Technically, I actually have another credit card or two more than that, but the one credit card, the Discover Chrome card I have, has rotating categories. And it gave you an option a long time ago. I don't know if it's still an option. It was either get a flat cashback rate or get the rotating categories, but I had it in the student version where I got cash back, and then after the end of the first year, it doubled my entire thing of cash back. So I got
Now,
like $500 the first year I used my Discover card with cash back, and that was like 1% on everything.
now here's one thing. You gotta check the terms and services for the credit cards every now and then, because like apparently the Chase Freedom card, the cashback has been getting not as good over the last couple of years, according to this one guy I watched.
Uh-huh.
Like just
Hmm.
like the how much you can get back, or like the or like how much good the points were has decreased a little bit over
When
the
I have
past
cash
couple of
back,
years.
my Chase Free I think Chase Freedom is just cash back. I don't know if you make a selection when you get it between points or cash back, but my Chase Freedom card is strictly cash back.
Well, it was one of the cards that it was one of the chase cards. He says that it's one at the beginning, and she wants
Mhm.
he said it's kind of like been getting a little bit weaker, the cashback and all that,
Yeah.
because like it has like the points like hasn't been as much or something like that.
Oh, this is what I have. I have the Chase Freedom Unlimited card.
Okay, which
Um,
I
because I
think
was able
that's
to go through and pull it up. That's what I've got. And well, here's what I will say to that is that in having the Chase Freedom Unlimited card that I've had for several years, they have not adjusted my cashback categories one bit. They've been exactly the same. And to where I get Chase Freedom Unlimited is my generalist categories that don't change, and I use it for dining. Is I get extra cash back on dining with that card. There's some other benefits on there too that I don't particularly use. Is just really the dining one. Oh, the other thing about that card is the best general card for me for any purchase that isn't on in a category because I get 1.5% cash
yeah,
back. Working on restore full service. Yeah, Chase is having an issue.
yeah.
And I was going to see if I could pull up. Of course, when I'm
Oh,
thinking
here's
about it.
another thing. You can also use it just to buy some stuff because they've
Like,
partnered with some companies to where like the items be X amount of points, and you can just convert your points to that. So
yeah.
say you have 70 points that can get not 70, 7,000 points that can get you a Generation 2 AirPod Pros, for example. So you don't have to use them just for cash back, like just to get money or gift cards. You can use them to get some items too.
Funny thing is, the Chase Freedom Unlimited card, it says points on it, so I do earn points. But when it comes down to it and how they break it down, it's I guess the point per dollar thing. It's literally a 1-to-1 type ratio to where I get 1% or 2% or 3% because it's literally um, where is it at here? It's the same decimal points. So if you have 759 points, um, you have that's not right. or I have $197. Yeah, so 7.59 would be $7.59 because I currently have 19,759 points.
I also keep track of those because some of them, apparently, like some companies are like, "Yo, these will expire at some point if you don't use them."
Yeah. I normally there's my benefit. So I get
So now,
5% back on travel through Chase Travel, which is their application.
yeah,
3% back on dining at restaurants. And I don't use drugstores, but if I did, I get 3% back on drugstores with this card.
yeah. So like keep track of that and all that because like if points will expire, because I think one of my companies says, "Oh hey," because I think I was reading the stuff. It said points expire or something like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's kind of because I'm wondering, did I ever let some points expire?
And I don't know how that works with some of the credit card companies. I never normally save my points. This is the first time I've been saving points for like several months. And just because I was just letting them save.
Because
And I was gonna use it towards for the first time towards some type of purchase. But I'm waiting to even though that's quote unquote free money, I'm waiting to start my next job before I make a purchase because technically that's not free money. That's money I have available to me this moment I could use for a discount on my bill. So I'm waiting,
yeah,
you
cause
know.
see, like, see, I always forget about the points typically. Whenever I first got my credit cards, I didn't really think
Hmm.
about points
Yeah.
until later on. Then I'm like, oh wait. Then I guess it hasn't really been until like the beginning of this year where I've been thinking a little bit more about the points, and that's what made. And after watching that video talking about like, hey, this is how the best way to optimize your points for XYZ or using
Yeah.
this card, and I'm like, this is something I really didn't think about until like this
Hmm.
past year, and like I want to try to make sure I can get the most bang for my buck,
Yeah.
get the most points for my buck, and all that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that I don't know. Do you have any other kind of goodies you want to get into in terms of cashback and points for a credit card and rewards?
Um, Nothing that I can really think of. Just Uh, maybe check on them every couple of months, really, because that's what I'm gonna be doing now.
Yeah, and I've been looking at it. I don't know if any of mine expire. I haven't looked down. I know I've seen some cards when I've got them. There's like points never expire. And so I've never conceived of them expiring because I've always used them. But
Cause
now that
hold
I've been
on,
saving them for several months, you're making me think.
well,
Odds are they probably don't expire because I feel like people would be like mad about that.
let me check, cause I
But
swear mine said,
with this,
cause I
which
swear one
card
of
do you
mine
have?
said it's not
Chase?
a Chase one, so you get on that. It's my personal bank.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
technically my main bank, cause I do bank with Chase too, but that's more like I
Well, your
put some of.
personal bank is like is a smaller brand that they could expire because they're not like this main
Well, see,
box office
here's
brand.
the thing. They technically got taken over by a Philadelphia company
Mm-hmm.
bank.
Okay.
Because it used
So
to
a
be
branch.
Compass. Because it used to be
Yes.
Compass, but now
Yeah.
they got taken over or bought out, and now they're PNC, which
Yeah.
is based in Philadelphia. Which I gotta say, if somehow this gets to anybody from PNC, fix the goddamn UI on your website because it is god awful.
You always have been complaining about it. So it's not anything recent.
Well, see, I never really used the website before until until last year, but the
Yeah.
user interface on it, it's just shit. Like the website, like the app is good. The website user interface is just complete shit. Like I
Mm-hmm.
never really complain about user interfaces on websites and all that because for the most part, most of them I've used have been pretty decent.
Yeah. At least you
But
navigate.
this one is just like I'm like, dear God, it feels like it hasn't been updated since the early 2000s.
Oh, that's
Like
bad
just the
stuff.
layout and the way it runs, I'm like, you could take 5-10 minutes, come on, to like hire somebody, be like, yo, uh, make our stuff look more modern, up to date, and a little bit better to use. Because the
Yeah.
website, I can use the website. It's just like I don't like the user interface at all. Like it's just
Mm-hmm.
not my cup of tea. Like it's just
Yeah.
not good.
It's aged. Well, in summary of everything that we've pretty much talked about today,
Give me some
essentially, long
good.
story short, if you don't have a credit card, always the message from us is to get one. Be smart with it, and it will absolutely be a very strong value to yourself, and for the years and years to come, and will pay you dividends in more than one way. Well, I was gonna say one way or another, but more than one way, but I pay dividends both literally and figuratively, and for yourself. And so, get a credit card if you don't already have one. Make when you're looking for your first one, if you don't have any credit at all, it's going to be slim pickings. Try to get one with cash back if you can. Most of them all do, but not all of them do. So do your best if you can in your first card to get a cashback card. Discover, maybe that's the plug to Discover. There, they gave me my first credit card early on when I had no credit, and they were more than willing to, so that was cool. Maybe give that a shot. Other than
I
that,
think Chase has one. I think it's a Chase Freedom Flex is what they consider Dell. Hey, you don't have any credit, get this card. I think it's a Chase Freedom Flex.
is it
Is it Chase
secured?
Freedom Flex? I don't believe so. But I think that's a little like, yo, this is your beginner card. Like the Chase Freedom
Okay.
Unlimited is more like, hey, you have a
Yeah.
credit score, you have maybe a credit card already. He'll have this other one,
Hmm. Yeah.
which I
So
think I don't know. It's actually I didn't realize it, but I think it's either on that one or one of my cards. Recently, my for some reason, like one of my cards and all that, like the limit got increased. I'm like, huh, I don't remember saying that, but
they will
okay, I'm
do
not gonna
that.
complain.
Sometimes you can. That's something we won't get into now.
No,
But you
you
can
can
ask for
request.
credit limit increases.
I
But
don't think
over
I did.
time, no, well, you don't have to. Over
Yeah,
time, that they will just naturally give you credit limit increases normally. Some cards faster than others. My Amex card A started me out with a very large limit compared to everything else I had, which is really cool. And then B consistently increased my limit faster than any other card that I have. And it's actually finally relaxed a little bit. But recently, it has increased my limit by a couple more grand, um, which is cool. But higher the limit, the less your credit utilization is. Topic for another video, which we've already talked about, but that's good. But yeah, asking for a credit limit increase is not bad if you need one because of how much you're spending and you've been a good borrower, paying on time and everything like that. You could probably get one. They will ding your credit if you ask for a credit limit increase. You will get a hard inquiry, so that is something to think about.
I think typically hot inquiries last for about
It's about 6 months to a
6 months.
year, I
I want to
believe.
say. Yeah, I want to say
Six,
typically 6 months, but 6 months to a year and all that.
yeah, 6 months to a year.
Transactions. Let's see. No transactions.
But yeah, long story short, if you don't have a credit card, get one. Try to get one with cash back. As you build your portfolio of credit cards, get one with cashback slash point categories that fit your lifestyle. The easiest ones to do are get ones where you can get cash back on grocery stores, and which is great because everyone has to go to a grocery store. Although they do exclude bigger box stores if you get grocery stores. In my experience, like Sam's Club, Costco, Walmart aren't included in the grocery store list because those are wholesale clubs, more like. And
And if you can't get one from like a Discover or something like that, go to your bank. And like
local
the one
bank,
that you've been baking with, because like if you have a rapport with them, that'll be easier for you to get it like that. If you can't get
yeah.
one from Discover or Amex, go
Your
to the
local
local
bank may
bank.
offer you a secured credit card, and
Yeah,
at least that's something you can start with.
yeah. Or like
And
yeah, when I
then
say a local bank, I don't mean like your town's local bank, which you can, but I mean like the bank
that's
you
also an
bank
option.
at.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Mhm.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that because like local bank can be taken one of two ways, like your town's bank and all that, or like the
Yeah.
bank you bank with.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Both of
Blaine.
those are options, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
anything
we're
else,
done.
Blaine?
No, man, I think that's pretty much it, y'all. Do your best, take care of your credit, take those reward dollars, put them to good use.
Yep, I gotta use mine. I don't know what I'm gonna use them for.
Yeah. Now you could use them to
I
pay
would
off
check to
your
see how much I
current debt.
have, but some of
Yeah.
them, somebody has a website down at the moment.
That's Chase. Chase
Yeah.
currently, when we're recording this, is they have it down at the moment, but they're working
Although,
hard to fix it. Says the
although here's the thing,
website.
I wanted to check the Amazon card. Of course, I'm gonna use that for Amazon because that's the best bang for my buck.
Yeah,
I think I may just like save all of those for like Christmas time and just use that.
it
I don't know.
wouldn't
Who
be
knows?
bad.
Yeah,
Amazon
I
card
also
is actually a really good card. I applied for that card. Funny enough, I'm pretty sure I already had. I can't remember, but I
well. See,
thought
I
I.
told you I applied for it because like it was they gave you if you applied and got accepted. I think it was like a $200 gift card added to your Amazon
Yes,
Prime account, and that's really
yes,
the main reason why I did it because I was like, let me see if I can get some free stuff for this $200 gift card. And it
Yeah.
worked. I got two, and I bought like a nice little table, some other stuff. I can't remember what it was because it was that table. Oh my god, what was the rest of the stuff I bought with
Mhm.
it? Oh my god, what
Uh,
was it?
I don't know. You gonna go
Oh my
look?
god,
The one
I'm
thing
actually.
about the Chase, we'll hurry up and book in this, but if you can get the Prime Visa, is what it's called, the one for Amazon, it's
Oh, there's
authorized
two,
through
there's two, there's
Chase.
two, there's two, there's
What do you?
two from
There's two.
Amazon.
What's
There's
the other one?
Amazon Prime, and then there's like a blue one, which is Amazon Prime Visa,
Yeah.
then an Amazon Visa.
What's the difference? Which one's
Basically,
harder to get?
I think well,
I
see,
guess
I
the
think
Prime Visa.
yeah, I think that Prime one is better if I remember correctly, because like I think you get a
Yeah.
little bit more because you get a little more back if you use it on Amazon and all that, and I think you can basically use it to pay. I think the Amazon Prime Visa is the better one if I remember correctly, but they do have two one. Like the Amazon Visa is a silver one, and the Amazon Prime is a blue
Uh-huh.
one.
Yeah. So, and that's what I'm looking at now. What I was trying to say is that I applied for the Amazon Prime Visa, the blue card, which I think is the better card that I've seen the whole silver one before, and this is the one they're advertising. Um, that it showed me when I was looking it up here to find the benefits. But if you can get the Prime Visa as a credit card, it's a really good card for a whole bunch of cashback categories, especially if you use Amazon. It's freaking great. Even if you don't use Amazon all the way, 2% back on gas stations, pretty good. 2% back on restaurants is pretty good. And then 2% back on local transit and commuting, including rideshare. Nah, that's okay. There's some other stuff on there I'm not going to get into, but it's a pretty good general card if you can get it. I actually got denied for this card. I already had a credit card or two at this point and got denied for it, which is disappointing. I don't remember exactly. I
Wait,
think part of
wait,
me
did
was
you
like,
did
"What
you get
the hell?"
accepted for the Amazon Prime one or no? Sorry,
No,
I
I
was
got declined for this card.
really
Uh,
I got so then again I
well, this
just
is a
got
long time ago.
yeah.
This is a real now they would. I mean, I have Amex, which is the harder card to get,
Well, see, if
and
I was you, I'll wait until the if you want to get that one, I'll wait until they
I might
offer
do that.
that $200
Oh,
gift
yeah,
card
it's
and
a
all that.
Black Friday, a Christmas deal. I see it yearly pretty often. I don't know if I'm gonna end up getting the card. I really should, considering how much I buy stuff on Amazon and I'm only getting a 1.5% cash back. But I do get a 5% cash back with Discover during the Christmas, the last couple of years during the Christmas season,
Okay,
which is pretty good. But I don't get it year round, and I'm a heavy Amazon user, and I have Amazon Prime.
no, see, I got it around July for some reason because
Hmm.
I'm seeing my purchases. So what I bought was like that little table out in my
Hmm.
living room. I bought like
Hmm.
a LED desk lamp that I use for like card openings, coffee cups, or like coffee Keurigs cups, like a little like a little like men's grooming kit. The two of the LED lights I use for like the studio and all that,
Yeah.
and that's really it.
Okay. Well, long story short, what I was getting to is that if you don't have any credit, you're probably not going to get approved for this card. They did deny me when I had some credit back then, when I was earlier on in my credit journey. Funny, I think I remember when I was like, "Why they deny me for this card?" I swear, I think I had the Prime. I mean, the card I was talking about, the Chase Freedom Unlimited. I swear I had that card and then applied for this, and I was like, "You already give me a card. Why wouldn't you give me another one? You know how well I'm doing with the card." And not to mention, if they do run your credit, they'll see no matter what you're doing with any card. But I was baffled I didn't get it. Then I moved on. Um, so, but yeah, if I apply for it now, I'd get it. But I have no intent right now on getting any more credit cards at the moment. It's been a couple of years.
Okay, let's see. It's so the Prime Visa gets you 5% cash back on Amazon.com, Amazon Fresh, and Whole Food Market, and Chase Travel purchases with an eligible Prime membership, unlimited 2% at gas station, restaurants, and local transit
Mm-hmm.
or commute.
I read a
The
couple.
Amazon Visa is 3%, and then one
Okay,
percent back on all other stuff.
I see.
But that's the
Okay.
same thing. So the main difference is besides the amount of gift cards you get, which is like right now it's saying 150, it's like the 5 or 3% cash back or percent back on Amazon.
Yours right now says $150 Amazon gift card to you.
100.
Oh, mine says 100. You said 150. Okay. Yeah, mine says 100 as well too. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
cool. There you go. Ready to
Well,
bookend
anyway, you
this.
guys, that's it for today's episode. Anything else, Blaine?
No, man, I think that's pretty much it.
You guys have a good one, and we'll catch you guys next week.
All right, adios.